I, Zillionaire, and hi there. I hope you're actually doing wonderfully well out there today. In this week masterclass, I want to talk about the 3M's of wealth. When I mean the 3M, how to make, manage, and multiply money. How interesting is that? Because everybody wants to be able to manage, make money, and multiply the money, and having the science around the money. So if you want to make money, how do you make money? Making money is one of the very key important things that you can ever go to be able to learn. Just like they normally say, that if you want to become an accountant, study accountancy. If you want to become a lawyer, study law. If you want to become a barrister, study law. If you want to become a doctor, study medicine. But if you want to become wealthy, what are you meant to study? Unfortunately, to study law is never taught in the four walls of school. And to study wealth creation, if you want to become wealthy, you're meant to study wealth creation. And this is only taught on the streets. When I mean on the streets, just in a master class like this, is the streets. Because on the Wall Street, why we have the Wall Street is where transactions take place, where wisdom is being passed, and also knowledge and nuggets, and also exposure. Because the more you travel, the more you know. So, in life, making money is very, very key. When people say, I always tell my students, my mentees, my millionaires that are mentees, I tell them that, you know what? Cash is king and customer is king. Because if you want to make money, e-money, you want to make money in American language slangs, you've got to create business. You've got to be someone who will be able to look at different things. So many people try all they can to be able to make money, yet wonder why they are not productive in making the money and still remain very poor. It is because they are making money in the wrong way. Let's examine how not to make money. Maybe you might be able to look at it in a very good holistic way. Because when you want to make money, if you focus on making money the wrong way, the right way will not work for you. Some questions I'm going to be asking you is not by stealing money or cheating or maybe committing fraud, not by borrowing or begging, and not by thinking about lottery or gaming to be able to win, and not by marriage, because this day and age, you know, a lot of things out there happen to millionaires and billionaires in the world. And wealth can never be transferred by genotype. It can never be transferred by through sexual intercourse. Wealth can be transferred by inheritance, but sometimes it can be by dividends. How then do you make money? Is another question that is going to be coming up in your mind. You make money by working for yourself and others and through different medium. As an entrepreneur, or maybe create business, you make money and all those. And when you look at what I've just mentioned now, the only legitimate and generic way of making money, which is the wealth genotype, is to make sure working either for yourself or for others. And you use the leverage of other people's time or other people's money or other people's opportunity, which is OPO, or other people's knowledge, OPK, other people's knowledge. That's how you can make money. And friends and partners and fellow zillionaires and fellow entrepreneurs out there that want to grow, remember, the topic I'm talking about in this masterclass is how to make, manage, multiply money, which are the three key M's of wealth and wealthy people. So, if you focus on yourself or others, you can make money through different medium. Because focus, as you make money, you need to start looking for how to multiply money. Now, how do you multiply money? Knowing how to multiply your resources will help you to build wealth and become financially free if you have the right knowledge, the right mindset, if you belong to a club called the Zillionaires Club or the 1000 Zillionaires Club, which is one of the products of Aroba Consulting Zillionaires. So, becoming financially free, it's what you desire. and you want to make money, you wonder a lot of things on how you can be able to do things so that things can actually be easy for you. Making money by working, you make money, you manage money by budgeting, but you multiply money by investing. Not only by managing it, but it's also good to budget, but you invest. And how do you multiply that money? To multiply money effectively, you need to differentiate between saving, investments, and also, because a lot of people struggle to save, and this is why they're not safe in the time of their dry season. In another episode of another masterclass, we're going to talk about the seasons of life, the 3 stages of life for every generic one, be it white, black, purple, wherever you are, whatever country. There are 3 seasons or 4 seasons of humans. Just like the different country, we have winter, summer, we have and so on and so forth, spring and all the likes, or fall, depending on which continent or which country you are from. Saving money is actually setting money aside for a purpose, and sometimes it gives you interest. 2%, 0.4%, 0.5%. It depends. But the bank use that money. I call it shaving. They shave it because they use that money while it is in that account. They use it to give people money, and the bank make money from interest. And the interest you receive can never make you rich or wealthy. Never. But it's also another medium or lowest means of managing money, multiplying money, but it's never the secret. What we, the wealthy ones, do is that we use the money you put in your bank, we invest it into businesses to create products and services, and we'll be able to do that. Investing is when you give your money another leg. Imagine a case study of you yourself. You work 8 to 6 or 8 to 5 or 8 to 4, depending on which country you're working. You work every day, 40 hours, 38 hours, 37.5 hours a week. But you can actually send the money you're making from that place, and you can give it a second leg, fourth leg, fifth leg by investing it into different vehicles. I would advise you to go through some of our masterclasses on the YouTube channel that we actually have on how to be different system called vehicles where you can invest your money. So, however, you need to be careful where you invest the money. Most people have the fear. Yesterday, I was talking to one of my mentees about why did you not take a step? She mentioned to me that because of the fear of unknown. Because of that fear, I don't want to lose the money. I said, then why did you wake up from bed? You should have slept a whole 24 hours. Why did you take the risk? If you don't take risk, you can't make money, friends. I don't know, from a black nation or black continent, some people do voodoo, a black thing that they do. They go through one man or one woman from the bush or from maybe an office to be able to multiply sangoma in some countries, herbalist man in some countries, or some call it juju or voodoo or whatever they call it. But it's never the ways of making money. But if you want to invest your money, you've got to always look for how you can be able to say, why I always advise people to investigate is before they can invest. Before you invest that money, investigate the business. Know the people behind the business. There is a business in recent time, my wife actually invested some money in some of those investments. But little did you know that in some of the master classes, as we always do as the norms in our family, you've got to invest. You've got to investigate on the people behind the business. But she never did that. But I told her you just pay school fees. Couple of about 6 zeros in that investment. At the end of the day, these guys went off. That wasn't the first time. There was another one she did in cryptocurrency back in the days where she invested into cryptocurrencies and she had over 6 figures, 7 figures. All of a sudden, she lost the money, friends. If I tell you the lesson she learned from there, she never investigated who are the people. Before I do business with people, before I go and put my money into a business, I become part of the board or part of the decision maker in that business so that I can control and make inputs. And that is what the wealthy people do. They don't just invest. I give a case study of a company called Nasper in the region of an African country called South Africa. We started looking at different form of investment in easy equity. And at the end of the day, there's a certain level you get to as an investor in a business, that they will invite you for next board meeting and even annual AGM. My money came to that level. They said, you know what, this man investing in this business is going to be part of the people. So I was able to vote, because now I have a say. I know the people behind it, to be able to now say, I need this guy to put my say out there. You've got to investigate before you invest into that business. And there are different ways, but it's not only limited. There are different vehicles we talked about in you investing into a business. Is it that you buy stocks or shares? Is it that you invest into property or assets? Or is it that you look at businesses that people are actually creating, you invest and buy some certain percentages in that business? Or maybe sweat equity? Or maybe as an entrepreneur, you can actually sell products or services. You never know. Or probably an internet business, an e-commerce business where you can list that product. You might not even own it. You might drop ship it by listing it from a particular website onto a bigger website, such as Amazon, eBay, Takealot, and so on and so forth. But I'm not going to go deep. You can check the systems, vehicles where you can invest in some of our master classes that we've talked about. Or maybe you actually create something in the academic space. They call it creative works. But in the normal world, in a place called something Africa, in South Africa, they call it something where they invest in businesses. Or in America, we call it Silicon Valley. Or maybe perhaps in our business, we call it Venture Capitalist Hub, where you can actually, I don't know how much you have, but just get across to me or myself or our team. They will direct you to our proper channel of the venture capitalist team of any amount you have in dollars, in pounds, in global currencies we take. Or maybe in BRICS currency that is going to be coming up, we're hoping. Maybe in cryptocurrencies. If you operate in any of this space, we can actually guide you. We have businesses that you don't even need to show up there. We'll give you every black and white label of everything you need for that particular product before you go into it. So friends, I've only mentioned just few on how you can multiply money, but how do you manage money? Is the last question. I talked about how to make money, how to multiply money. But now, making money and multiply money, you need the science. You need the mind surgeon of managing that money. Making money is one thing, but your ability to be able to manage that money effectively determines if you are able to then multiply that money. Money management is a skill that everybody needs to develop. You don't leave it to professor in mathematics or professor in finance or doctor in finance or maybe a consultant. You've got to also note, like for example, there's nothing we buy in our home that we don't manage. There's nothing we spend, we write it down. There is nothing, we track every expenses on monthly basis or weekly basis or daily basis. We know the science behind it. Because before you know it, if you don't take your finance serious, the bank will shave your head. And you become poor. And you go down the drain. When you are wealthy, people will start investigating how wealthy you are, what are the sources. But have you ever noticed that people don't investigate when you are poor? Have you ever seen people investigating poor people? When people steal money, they investigate them because they know they're going to become wealthy. But budgeting is actually financial planning and managing strategy that can help you to be able to know how to make and manage that money wisely. In building budgeting, you've got to be able to know how to estimate your income and also your expenditure and projects, and the way it will be used to help you to achieve those financial goals in anything you do. But what does budgeting actually do? What kind of value will it add to you? Budgeting will be able to help you to be able to control your finance instead of your money controlling you. Most people, 80-90% of Africans of the world are being controlled by money. Until you know how to be able to control the money, until money starts chasing you, that is the time you become valuable. This day and age, I don't go to apply for things. I don't go to meet people to do. I only go for meeting. The wealthy one go for meeting. And now I want to tell you things today. I'm going to be leaving you with 7 key budgeting that you've got to learn. Budgeting helps you to be able to control money instead of you controlling the money. Instead of that money controlling you. Number 2 is that budgeting helps you to know whether you are living with your within your means, or you are living above that money, or that money you have, that you've made, that you've been able to multiply. When you work with budgeting, budgeting will help you to be able to know how to save, and also helps you in terms of investment goals. And the fourth one is that budgeting is a guide is the Bible. Budgeting is the Bible, or it is the principle or collection of instructions for you to be able to navigate through, like a map. If you're going to a place, you enter the address. That is what budgeting do for you if you want to create wealth. Budgeting also helps you to be able to prepare for financial emergency and unexpected expenses. Many people in Africa don't budget. You know what? I just want to operate by faith. My friends, zillionaires, millionaires, you will just operate and go to hell. You tarnish in poverty if you don't have this. I don't know where you're watching this video from. I don't know if you actually, I'm going to be switching into my brain accent, but I just want to tell you today that budgeting is actually helping you to be able to know how to stay out of debt. There's what I call good debt, bad debt. It's going to be another masterclass we're going to be talking about. And if you know what good debt and bad debt is, budgeting will be able to save you. Fellow zillionaires and students and consultants and entrepreneurs out there, the last thing I'm going to tell you about budgeting is that budgeting helps you to reveal the area where you are spending too much so that you can adjust. On the last note, I'm going to leave you with these golden keywords. You must learn to live on a budget as to be able to effectively manage the money you make. No matter what happens in your life, I always tell people that poor people always like to solve immediate problems, but rich people starve problem. Wealthy people starve problem until they've gone to make money. From the profit they've made, they can now solve that problem. God forbid anything happen. Rich people, wealthy people create a system around it, insurances and all the likes. It's going to be another masterclass. There's a lot for you to learn. Friends and family and fellow zillionaire, no matter what happens in your life, never spend all money you make, all money you've multiplied. You make, or else you will remain poor. My name is Dr. Julius Aroba, the wealth entrepreneur mind surgeon. Until I come your way again, I'll catch you again on our next masterclass.